I know I was on mute. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Why do this one always do this? Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Why do this one always do this? Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Why do this one always do this? Well, maybe it's not that one. I don't know. It's backlagging from somewhere. I'm supposed to hear myself. I don't hear myself no more. Right, wait. Oh, I think that means, okay, Instagram got a delay. That's why I can't wait. But anyway, hey, how y'all doing? Welcome to Sipping in the Sip with Sabrina. I am Sabrina. And we moving right along, y'all, with this R. Kelly, Derell McDavid, Milton Brown, Shot Town trial. We on week 3. We gonna do day 14, which would have been day 13, but the court was closed on day 13, so we just gonna day 14, and then we gonna hit week 4, day 18 and 19, which would be day 14 and 15. You know what I'm saying? Just remember that the court was closed for a couple of days, so we'll be, you know, big. And I'm super late on top of all of this, you know. I'm super late because the verdict gets out and everything. So I'm just trying to get it all done so I can get the verdict out too. You know? So I can get the verdict out too. Yeah. All right. So we gonna talk about what's going on and what transpired in this courthouse during this trial. I know it's trial. For all those who gonna be listening, you can't even talk. You don't even know how to say trial. All right, so I really gotta get it going. Oh, this baby get here and come take over something. I'm trying to get through it all. So it is day 13, and the judge ends up denying all 3 defendants' motions for acquittal. And then he turned around and told them that they all had the right to testify in the court. Kells let it be known that he wishes not to testify. Milton Brown also will not be testifying, but McDavid will. McDavid will be testifying. And McDavid is the manager, the ex-manager. First, he was the money man first, and then he became his manager. You know, during the time of Barry. Barry was the manager at the time, Aaliyah's uncle. So, yeah, McDavid will be testifying, the manager, and McDavid is also, for all of those who do not know, Derell McDavid is of Caucasian. Okay. Okay, and so you have defense who is now showing who is now deceased private investigator Palladino, his memos, because they're saying that he took very great notes. And so they're going back into his 2001 notes. And also, they're also going over the notes for the answering machine messages as well. And these messages is from Charles Freeman, who we call in Showtime, because that was the name that he gave them when he did not want to give the poly administrator his real name. He told him, just call him Showtime. So this is who they want the messages of when he was calling. And they just pretty much wanted to get a few things into evidence before court got the jumping on. And I guess they also is trying to get these out to discredit Freeman. And they want to make it sure that you know that he's an extortionist, which, okay, he may or may not have been extorting Kels, but I don't understand why did nobody found no. This ain't even about that, but if I just feel like if y'all feel like someone has stolen or extorting you, why wouldn't you go to the police? The same thing that you wanted these girls to do. If this was really going on, why didn't you go to the police? If they're really extorting him and all these things, there's a reason why no one went to the police on none of these people that they done dished out money to. There's a reason, okay? And I think we all know the reason. That these tapes that they were getting extorted over had minors, and they did not want law enforcement most definitely to get their hands on any of that. So I'm thinking that's it, but they want him to be known as an extortionist, but it just ain't adding up. Now we have defense's witness Christopher Wilson for the Cook County State's Attorney. Christopher Wilson for the Cook County State's Attorney Investigator. Cook County State Attorney Security Detail. Former DEA Task Force that worked with the state of attorney's office. McDavid has been a family friend of his for over 25 years. In 2001, McDavid had told Wilson that Kels was getting blackmailed. He wanted Wilson to go to Palladino, go with Palladino to Kansas to interview a suspect of the alleged blackmail. When Wilson was in Kansas, he saw a black man being given a poly during a meeting with Palladino, and he did not hear about the child porn at that time. McDavid was not in Kansas with him at that time either. In a meeting with McDavid in the Chi, he did hear or see any child. He didn't hear or see any child porn. Now you got cross-examination from the prosecution. They let it be known that McDavid hired Wilson to protect the private investigator. He did not see or hear of what McDavid was up to at the meeting with the poly administrator. Now we have the witness for defense, and baby, defense is only like boom, 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 out of here. You hear me? They was not playing with these folks. Like they pushing through. We have witness for defense. Her name is Mary Green, and she is the president of MGPG events. She was involved in planning the Women's Expo. She's looking over the celebs list for the event in 1990. Kells is not on it. In 2000 is when he was on the list to do any type of performing. But it's not to say that he was not just there in 1999. It could have been somebody else who was on the list to perform that Kells maybe wanted to see, but also knew that it was a Black woman expo and was like, oh, it's gonna be a lot of ladies. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I guess they was trying to prove that he wasn't even on the list. So the girls is lying that they met him in 99 at this women expo. Now you had a cross-examination of prosecution. Green don't know if Kells was at the 1999 expo, but security would have notified her of an artist of his magnitude, you dig? Because she felt like for them to just come on their own, yeah, they most definitely security would have informed me that Kells, like, you know how big he is, heck, yeah, we want him, we want to shout him out, everything, all that good stuff. And she's saying, so she not sure, but she trying to say, but he might not was there because security didn't come and let her know that he was in the building. So I think that's what she trying to get at, that he wasn't there at all, but so many others knew that he was at that expo in 99. But it's neither here nor there. Now you got the witness for defense. He is Tom Arnold, and he is testifying on behalf of Milton Brown. He is an audio engineer who formerly worked for the Chicago Track Studio, where Kells used to always be. He started working for Kells in 2003 at Kells Production Company. He quit in 2011. He testified against Kells in the 2021 New York trial. Kells had ended up docking a week of his pay for not having a woman guide at Disney World. So apparently he planned a trip for Kells. And apparently when Kells go out with women, he prefer a women guide. And so because when they got to Disney World, that there was this man that's gonna guide his women's around, honey, he got docked a whole week's pay for not making sure that there was a woman guide in place of this man. So then you got cross-examination from the prosecution, and they are going back and forth about how much money he dealt with. The reason he was writing checks from Kells, he don't remember. Witness for defense, we got Ronald. We got witness for defense, Ronald Writers. He was the private investigator's former personal assistant to Kells. Formerly deceased attorney Ed Jensen. Wait a minute. Okay, we got Ronald Writers, who is a private investigator today, but was the former personal assistant to the former, who is now deceased attorney Ed Jensen, who is testifying on behalf of McDavid. In 2007, he met Kells and McDavid. He recalled tapes being brought to Jensen's office maybe about 6 or 7 times. Defense asked him if any of the girls look underage. He says no. McDavid coming to Jensen's office in 2007 with a tape. McDavid was not present when the tape was played. Why did he make a point to say that McDavid was okay? How you know? Okay. Nothing. McDavid was not present when the tape was played. In the tape, it appeared to consist of Kale's having sex with two women. One of them women, he thought it was Kale's wife. He never knew where the tapes came. No one said they were from Lisa Van Allen or Keith Merrill. You got cross-examination by prosecution. Writers don't recall seeing a tape with Kale's have sex with a room. Winners don't recall seeing a tape with Kale's have sex in a room with a checkerboard floor or a tape with wood paneling. Then he said he was watching sex tapes but not looking at the scenery. The courtroom, of course, laughs at that because that was funny. Like, right, who really looks at a point? Like, I wasn't looking to see what's around the room. We're looking at the action. Okay. Yeah. Prosecution say that some of us seem to find humor in child exploitation because the jury was also laughing. And so I guess you can't have no humor when times is so hard and rough at that time. So I guess she was trying to say like the jury gonna get tainted because they find this funny. Because the man said he wasn't looking for the scenery. Hell, he was watching the porn, so he was not looking at the what's in the room. Or was there a book on the side of the table? Was there like who does that? Like I don't know. I just felt like prosecution was just pushing it at that point, and really there wasn't nothing to really say. But hey, okay. Cross-examination. Prosecution wants to clear up the memos of the private eye Palladino as to whether they are actual client statements or the PI thoughts. And he pretty much is like, it's just a PI summary. This is what we do after we do something. Like maybe we might not record these notes that day, but we may record them like within that week frame, and you just remember and recall everything you did because you wrote notes, but then off of your notes you write a complete summary of your whole interaction or what have you. So that was that. You got redirect by defense Kale's attorney. And she's asking if who understand writers. She asks if he do his summary days after the interview, and are they based on the notes that you take during the actual interview? And pretty much he confirmed that yes, it's been days that he have, did his summary days after. And yes, he do take notes during the actual interview. Okay, now we have day 14. Court was closed, so this will be really day 15. Court was closed due some form of a technical issue. This was that Tuesday. So this is the day after the holiday. So that Tuesday, it was also closed for some form of technical issues. And there was supposed to be the reporter to testify that had broke all of these headlines in the Chicago Sun-Times. He got a weird name, Magario. I don't know, but he was supposed to testify that day before, which was that Tuesday, but because court was closed, you know, But so he was just like asking the judge, like, I don't think I really need to testify anyway, because everything that I know of, I did, it's on print, it's on paper. Like, I wrote everything out. Like, the world know everything that I got to say about all of this, pretty much is what they were saying. And the judge granted that and was like, okay, yeah, right, you don't have to testify. And he let that be. Now you got the witness for defense, which is a Homeland Security agent. Kell's attorney wants to establish things from the 2002 between 2002 up until the 2008 trial about not having any documentation about an accuser named Tracy. If she know of any type of documents, and of course, no. Then you now have the witness for defense. Her name is Marta Johansson. And she also worked for the now deceased private investigator Palladino. McDavid wants her to authenticate business records, while Palladino, McDavid attorney, wants the record to show that Charles Freeman in a negative light, and to prove McDavid wasn't in the meetings with Palladino and Freeman. She has worked for Palladino Company for over 40 years as the office administrator. And so you have Johansson now looking over like different documentations to prove that they are authentic. And there is also an invoice to McDavid from Palladino about a conference call with Freeman, trying to paint Freeman as an extortionist. Like, they really are trying to make it as if this, but it is too late. Just like y'all felt like these girls was too late because they didn't say nothing then. Like, it's too late. You can't call him an extortionist because y'all did the same thing that these girls did. No one went to law enforcement. And the ones who did went to law enforcement, theirs just got covered up. So, because at the same time, Mac Freeman, he filed many lawsuits. Y'all could have stuck one of them out to prove that he was extorting y'all, but you did not. So you trying to prove he is this extortionist now is way too late. Like, at this point, like, get over it. Let it go. You got cross-examination. And they are asking Johansson if she feels loyal to Palladino and if she could say anything to tarnish Palladino's reputation. She agrees she's loyal, but there is nothing she could say in court to damage Palladino's reputation at all. And prosecution say Palladino's job was to make his client look good. Johansson say his job was to find the facts, even if they make the client look bad. Prosecution tell her that she doesn't know anything about what Palladino did or said to his clients, except for what is in the file that she has to file. And she said, I agree. You are right. You hear me? You got the witness for defense. Her name is Haley Hubo, I don't know. Haley Hubo, Hubo, one of the two. You got Kell's attorney associate is who Miss Haley is. She is Kell's attorney associate. She is a paralegal at Kell's attorney law firm. Haley explains discovery was huge, thousands of records and material. She was the first to see a lot of the material while organizing for the attorney usage. Phone records obtained by the feds in a civil lawsuit brought by Tracy against Kells back in 2001. Defense asks, was there a date range? And Johansson say the earliest would have been maybe at May, and the latest would have been April of 2001. Cross-examination, prosecution asks Haley if she know if Kells talked to Tracy in 1999, and she does not know. You got the witness for defense in the building, and we have none other than Derell McDavid, who has now taken a stand, and he is the co-defendant. Kale's former manager, McDavid, first heard Kale's name back in the 80s, playing cards at a friend's house. Barry Hankinson, he began McDavid began considering working for Kale's in 1990, 1991, somewhere in there. McDavid was his accountant until Kale's first album came out, Born in the 90s. Then McDavid became his business manager. Now he writes checks, pay bills, etc. for all four of his ventures, including his home. As Kale's climbs the charts of success and more money came in, Kales wanted everything. So issues got bigger to the point that him and Kales almost came to a physical fight, a for real physical fight, Despite the drama, they ended up growing close, and Kales was like a son to him. Over time, Kales' character ended up changing around about 1994, being very forward with women. The women were grown to his knowledge. At that time, tension was growing between Kales and his manager, Hankinson, Barry Hankinson, which is Aaliyah's uncle, who is also now deceased. The more successful Kales get, the more attention he needed, and Hankerson did not have it to give. Kales fired Hankerson in 1995 after they fought outside of a restaurant. In 1999. Y'all know that in 1999, that would have been around the same time that Aaliyah maybe got married. They got that. But anyway, in 1994, McDavid hired attorney Jerry Margolis for Kales because he wasn't stuck up like the other celebrity attorney was. Margolis and Kales hit it off instantly. In 1997, you got Tiffany, what was her last name? Tiffany Hawkins. Okay, you got Tiffany Hawkins, who sued Kales for sexual misconduct. He also found out from Margolis that Tiffany was pregnant with Kale's baby. An injunction was filed by another lawyer. The paternity allegations ended up going away, and McDavid feel because the paternity allegations went away that Tiffany was lying. Then the lawsuit ended up changing to Kales having sex with Tiffany as a minor. Kales had agreed to take a paternity, and because the paternity claim went away, he just would never believe anything that Tiffany said to be, true. Why file a lawsuit instead of going to the police is what McDavid is wanting to tell this young lady. McDavid and Kales settled the lawsuit for $250K. It was just somebody trying to get paid. Tiffany's lawyer went on to represent numerous of the other women with Kell's sexual allegations. McDavid also say Freeman was promised 140K because y'all know Freeman said that the contract did say 100,000, 40,000 for expenses and all this stuff. Yes, but he was promised $1 million outside of that. So, and if he wasn't promised that, why in the heck did y'all keep paying this man all these hundreds of thousands of dollars? Why was he on a payment thing? And when you missed a payment, why would he go and file a lawsuit? I don't know. But hey, I just have to agree to disagree. I can't. I don't know. Who is that? Tangy 102? I don't know. I don't know either, Tangy. I really don't. But we'll figure it out, love. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so yeah, he also said that Freeman was promised 140K, not a million. McDavid is asked about one of the sex tapes in the indictment for the first time. He say in 2001, Cales called him and said, Freeman is threatening to go to the media with a tape unless Cales pay. He asked Cales if there was another sex tape out of him and another woman. I don't understand why did he say another. So in my mind, if you asking him about is there another, I have to assume that you know that how many other tapes was that? I don't know. It's a lot of tapes involved, but McDavid is just anyway. He asking Kels, was there another tape out of him and another woman? And of course, Kels says yes. And he did not try to hide it. But yet, you know nothing, my friend, nothing. In fact, Margolis, the attorney he had hired, said they needed to be very crafted on how to get these tapes back because it would ruin or could destroy. Even a rumor would be able to destroy Kels, you know, a whole entire famousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. Okay, so a rumor could do that by itself, let alone a tape. I'm confused because if this tape get out, it could ruin or destroy Kel's career. How? Because if a rumor was just out, because like now, if something pops up right now today, and you say just like when that first young Miss Hawkins, honey, when she filed that first lawsuit, she is the whole one who put this entire everybody on the map. If it wasn't for her coming out back in 96 or whatever, no one would ever know about any of this. Like everything would have been swept on the rug. So you can't say that if they didn't get these tapes back in a certain type of way, like it would ruin his career, because I'm just saying a rumor. Like it just people didn't want to believe back then. So I don't believe that because I believe in 2002 when that tape came out, every city and every state had that. I just feel like that. That's a fact. And even though I was right there next to Chicago, of course that tape was on every corner. Of course, everybody knew about that tape. So, and I was like, what, 19, 20, somewhere like that at that time. Like, yes, everybody had that tape. So, and we heard the rumors from before that. I'm just confused as to why would these tapes ruin someone's career if it's just porn. If it's child porn, that would make sense. But if you're saying that just somebody having a sex tape will ruin their career, let me know that in your mind, you know that's not true. You know. But anyway, we on day 15. And we got defense. We got defense. Motioning to prevent bad acts related to Kel's sexual misconduct, marriage to Aaliyah's sex addiction, prior lawsuits by any of his accusers or settlements made by McDavid on behalf of Kel's, and so much more was in this motion, okay? The only thing that the judge did not want to hear about out of all that stuff is the Aaliyah situation. Like, that was the only thing he wanted excluded. Like, everything else was a go. But the Aaliyah situation, that's fine. But I don't understand why Aaliyah was off the map when the entire time Barry Hankerson, who is now deceased, was clearly on his stand. Like, his name came up. But anyway, Derell McDavid is still on the stand. He is on the direct. McDavid felt that Kells wasn't guilty because it did not affect his career. He got awards, and he also had ended up working with Jay-Z, so he don't feel like he was wrong. McDavid said that he was focused on the Olympics when the tape came out, because y'all know that Kells was supposed to be performing at the Olympics that year, and the tape actually came out the same day that he was supposed to be performing. Kells' former deceased attorney, Ed Jensen, planned to conduct an interview the victim, Rashana, only to put him out when she arrived. Jensen had a closed-door meeting with Rashana, is what he's saying. After the meeting, Kells and Rashana left together. But yet, he still didn't put two and two together. Okay. All right, L told McDavid that he believed what Rashana said and that the tape is made up. McDavid said Rashana parents asked to be sent out of town to get out of the way of the media. He really believed that the sex tape was fake. I don't believe he believed that the sex tape was fake, though. The civil suits against Kells started to flood in, and Ed Jensen told him to settle the lawsuits. Kells had a whole entire breakdown due to all the lawsuits and the allegations. But hell, he was supposed to. Hell, you stop doing stuff to people, then you wouldn't be having no breakdown. Hell, I have a breakdown too. Hey, Tank! Hey, Tank! Come here. Your pamper clean today. Come here. Let me see. And why you be doing all that extra? What you running to her for? That ain't gonna help you. Look, I can't stand him. He gets on my nerves.
Stop snatching.
Come here, let me see. Come on. Let me see. Let me see. Why you acting like that? Give me some love. Why are you acting so? You're so fake.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Tell her bye-bye. I'm in the middle of the video. Tell her bye. We gonna go outside after that because I'm doing something right now.
Okay. Good night.
Go close that door. He ain't talking about nothing. Close that door.
Huh?
Close that door. He ain't talking about nothing.
Oh, you tell me to close.
Yeah, he ain't talking about
Good night.
nothing. I love you. Be careful. Why you showing out today? I can't. I know you used to going directly outside, but I'm just trying to get these videos together and stuff, and that's it. That's all I'm trying to do. And then we gonna go right on outside, okay? With no problem. We gonna go out there. Are you gonna run around like a chicken with your head cut off, okay? I'm gonna bet you. Where I was at, y'all. Okay, Kels ended up saying yes, that he did have another sex tape out, and that the civil suits against Kel had started to flood in. And Ed Jensen had told McDavid to settle all the lawsuits. That and that Kels ended up having some form of a breakdown. And Kels ended up I got just the spot for you. Come on. I got something for you. Because I forgot I'm tripping. It's my fault. It's my own fault, girl. I'm the one tripping. Okay. Now, so he pretty much blaming the reason why he gave all these people money is because Ed Jensen had told him to settle the lawsuits. And Kels had a breakdown due to the so many suits and so many allegations that he had to see a psychiatrist. And McDavid told the psych that Kels and Rashana had never been together. I want to know, why did McDavid lead that conversation talking to that psych? Why did you tell the therapist that Kels and Rashana had never been together? Why didn't he tell them that? Why did you lead that if you didn't know anything about it? Like, why you didn't give him time? Why, of all the people where these allegations was from, why did you bring up Rashana specifically to the psychiatrist? What is that about? I want to know. Inquiring minds. And then you also tell Kels, why would you go see a psych if you're not going to tell the truth? But you already started out with a lie. You didn't want him to tell the truth. So make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like, okay, you wanted him to tell the truth, but it don't make sense. If you're not going to tell the truth, why go to a psychiatrist? Okay. McDavid think of different situations as to why he never believed none of the accusers or saw any footage from for the reasons he felt they were all liars. McDavid bring up a sex tape with Kels and a dude that Kels had. McDavid bring up a tape with a dude that Kels was very much concerned about. With a dude. McDavid say he never offered Freeman $1 million for the sex tape. He discussed Roshana and her promise, never asked for money, or Kells telling him to give them money. Then he talked about the Lisa Van Allen stealing his sex tape with her and Roshana, and how Kells was concerned it would mess up his marriage if the tape got out. Ed told him to pay for it, so she would go away. McDavid set up the meeting only to find out that Keith Merle had the freaking tape. Her friend she made, who was in Kells' band, The Talent, and Keith had told McDavid that it was a tape with Kells, his wife, and Lisa. Keith said no minors. McDavid arranged for Milton to get $200K that Keith wanted. McDavid showed Keith he had the money before the poly test. McDavid left so that he could go back to his hotel room to get the results of the poly test. I guess you left so that you could get the results. So anyway, he ends up at Ed Jensen's office with the 2K. With the 200K, to find out that Keith had failed and he had a disc and not a tape. And so McDavid was confused because he thought it was a tape or a VHS back then. Jensen told McDavid to give Keith and Lisa $20K a piece just so that they'll be able to show good faith, and for them to bring the tape back with the truth, the VHS tape. And Keith came back and he ended up passing the poly, and he also gave them the original tape. And Keith and Lisa got $80K a piece, but Lisa said she only got $50K, not $80K. Okay. McDavid said he gave Jensen the tape without even watching it. McDavid went into why he never believed the Roshana tapes and why he thought they were fake. He also was talking about how Lisa said she had a second tape with her, Kells, and Roshana. He saw still shots of the video, and that no one believed her. And he pretty much was saying that Lisa just done lied on the whole thing, okay? Freeman was just out to get money, and how the former attorney, who is deceased now, kept saying pay, because he wanted nothing interfering with the 2008 trial. He want to pretty much contradict everybody's testimony that has testified already in this trial. McDavid is pretty much taking himself out of so many situations that so many people said he was in, and is putting in another place. And everywhere that somebody say Roshana was at, he is putting in Kells' wife. It is so weird. This is some of the weirdest testimony and how contradictory of it all. But hey, it is what it is. Okay, so he didn't know shit. His story is different from everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? He is pretty much bigging up Kels throughout his entire message. Oh, he was a great performer and a great, and he was this and all this, but in the midst of testifying, all this is just so weird. Um, and um uh uh uh, uh. And then you got McDavid low key crying. I mean, he is crying. I don't know why he crying now. So many years later, but hey, in 2009, McDavid hired Corin Capshaw. He acts as manager, who got him appearances at the Coachella and with Lady Gaga. McDavid say Kale's fame got to his head. Their relationship was falling apart. He was starting to be way too doggone demanding and too darn extra read all about it. So Kels ended up looking elsewhere for all his attention, and he leaked up with a Devin Stevens who convinced him to drop Capshaw as his manager. And Kale's career pretty much failed as a result of that, you know. McDavid is still under direct, but is now being questioned by Kale's attorney. She wants to object to the views that McDavid have against Kales because he said his views of Kales changed since after 2008 trial. And pretty much she is upset because McDavid had ended up saying that after the 2008 trial, his views of Kales had pretty much changed. So I'm in her and pretty much what the whole courtroom I'm sure got out of that is he now believes Rashana and all of these women and what it is that they did, you know. So that's pretty much what she was trying to get out of him. And pretty much the judge like, well, I'll wait to see what he's saying. So he didn't give a definitive answer as to what was what and why she needs to be objecting to some move. It didn't make sense, but she tried and the judge kept right on going. McDermott attorney is asking about the downfall of him and Kale's relationship. They had a financial disagreement meeting with Devin, which led to him leaving his position as the manager. Kales has a settlement agreement with McDavid for $1.3 million. Kales had missed payments. McDavid filed a breach of contract suit. McDavid testified about money payments made to Rashana father and how he said that he was embarrassed because of all the testimony that he had heard over the last 3 weeks that he had never heard or knew of years prior. So it was as if he was in shock when he was hearing Lisa on that stand, Tracy on the stand, Rashana mom. Like he ain't had no understanding of what was he like. What did I get myself into? You hear me? What did I get myself into? Because I done messed up. You hear me? I done messed up. So Kale's attorney is now questioning McDavid. She asks if Kale's is a rare. She asks if Kale's is a rare talent. He's a musical genius with a lot of deficits. That's what he said. Okay. So that's what he said. With a lot of deficits. Deficits like he can't read or write. And Kills also have a lot of shame. Kills has dyslexia. And he also have a problem with surrounding himself with people that are bad for him. Kell's attorney asked about the 96-97 lawsuits with Tiffany Hawkins. Whenever articles like this went published, numerous lawsuits come in. Then Kell's attorney asked about Jerry Margolis, who is now deceased as well. This was the other attorney that he had ended up hiring. Remember Margolis, this is who he had retired. He's asking about him and who is pretty much deceased of Kell's previous this is Kell's previous attorney, and how he wouldn't associate with someone he thinks is a sexual predator. McDavid confirms that that's exactly how Margolis felt. Kell's attorney now asked about private investigator Palladino reliable services. And then she go into the Charles Freeman and them in this extortion situation. And I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of it. But that's gonna conclude this him video for the day. Y'all go ahead on and sip on that and make it make sense. And I'll see you lovely people on tomorrow. I love you.